Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out AmItheA Whole. Story 1. AITA for getting angry at a dog owner in the airport. I had a flight this morning, it's crowded and busy. I'm near check-in and making my way to security. All of a sudden people in front of me changed direction, I continued walking and couldn't figure out why in time and I tripped over a leash. I stumbled but didn't fall and dropped my duffel bag. There was a 10-pound dog on an extendable leash in what I'd guess 6 to 8 feet away from its owner. I turn and look at the owner, he tells me to watch where I'm going. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I could have gotten seriously fucking hurt. Why are you even letting it extend that far? The owner gets defensive and blames me for not paying attention where I was walking. I'm baffled by that response, I get angry, I cussed at him. He calls me an asshole back. I collect my duffel bag and move along. My buddy that was with me tells me that I was right, but I was a bit over the top. I'm like, the fucking guy didn't even apologize. The other guy's reaction and my buddy are making me think I was the asshole. Story 2. AITA for taking a friend to a concert almost for free after another friend cancelled due to cost. I, 25F, recently was lucky enough to get 2 Taylor Swift tickets to Friday's show in Chicago. I am a huge fan of hers and have been since I was young, so this was super excited. I asked 2 friends if they wanted to go. One immediately said yes, Viv, and the other, Elle, said she had other responsibilities and she couldn't, so I offered it to the friend who said yes. Problems started almost immediately. First, she didn't pay me for the ticket for like 2 weeks. She kept giving excuses, waiting for payday, Venmo isn't working, etc. She finally paid up once I said, if you can't make it just let me know and I can find someone else to take. Then, the issue became hotel. She wanted a hotel under $200/night to save money. Perfectly fine, but we would need to go to a suburb in that case. We chose a safe one I've visited multiple times. But then she was angry that we'd have to take the L, so we found shuttle parking, but she was angry that parking was $50 there and $25 at the hotel. My fian is from Chicago, and his family lives there, so I go quite often. I would offer input and just would be told I go to Chicago literally all the time, so I know. I was getting really fed up by this point. I finally gave her the total cost of what was left for the trip, which ended up coming to $200, $100/pp. Not including meals. She freaked out about the price because she's tight on money. She hinted at wanting me to pay more because I make more. Mind you, she already purchased a new outfit and plus $100 of merch. I told her if she couldn't swing it, I would refund her the ticket. She agreed. After sending her money back, I called up Elle and told her about everything. She said she would love to go, but recently lost her job due to it closing. She has been acting as a caregiver to a sick aunt ever since, and her family can't afford to pay her much for that. I told Elle that if she wanted, I would take her to the concert. I told her if she paid for the concert, I would drive and pay for accommodations since I'd already bought all of that. She was so overjoyed and agreed. She had genuinely been so grateful and offers up food, gas money, and anything else she can. Viv found out I am taking Elle, and she is furious. She said she only bowed out because of price and it's not fair I'm not making Elle pay for the things she couldn't afford. I said that I'm sorry, but Elle is going through a lot and didn't have means to pay. Viv did. Elle feels terrible now and is considering not going. AITA. Story 3. AITA for refusing to have a hospital wedding for my bride's dying mother. So I, 31M, am engaged to the love of my life, 33F, we met in college and started dating 6 years ago. I proposed to her about 5 months ago. We have the wedding planned for early September. We've basically planned everything out by now and paid for a lot of things. My fian has never had a good relationship with her mother. Her mom's very racist to me and cut her off after she introduced us. She hadn't spoken to her mom in nearly 6 years until she found out from an aunt that her mom was in multi-organ failure, from drug and alcohol addiction. She isn't eligible for any transplants but can't leave the hospital. She's on like a hospice care plan in the hospital. My fiancé has been spending more time with her, and since she's heavily sedated she's calmer and nicer than usual. My fiancé is now saying that she doesn't want to get married without her mom, and she saw some clips of hospital weddings online. She really wants us to get married inside her mom's hospital room. Her mom will still barely talk to me, and there's no way she'd be okay with the Hindu priest we've hired. Also, we were both so excited for this wedding. My family has always treated her well, and Indian weddings are very traditional and important. My mom and her planned this whole wedding together, and my mom helped pay, and although she'd probably understand, I don't want to just cancel the wedding on her. And most of the things we've purchased are non-refundable. I've said to my fiancé that I think it's a bad idea, maybe we could have a ceremony in her room or something like that but still also have the wedding. But she says she doesn't want her mother to die before she's married, and she wants her mom to really be there to make up for lost time. I feel like she's not thinking clearly because of how much she's grieving right now, and she'll regret it later. Also, her mom said that if we do get married in her room, my 8-year-old daughter can't be there, because she's half black. I just don't want to give up my whole wedding with my family for someone who wasn't even going to be invited. I'm still willing to compromise, but I feel like an offer not just doing it since she's going through so much. So AITA here? Story 4. AITA for giving my fiancé's daughter the same present for her birthday that she gave to me for mine. Nothing. Background. I have dated a woman with 3 kids for 4 years at this point in time. I am 32, she is 42, the kids are not mine. Asterisk, her kids are currently 22, 19, 17, they all live at home. The oldest are girls, the youngest is a boy. Asterisk, I own a construction company and she owns a nail salon, and we are both financially stable. Asterisk, they idolize their dad that is basically non-existent in their lives, however, they hate me. Now the rant. I love the woman I am with, and have had, depending on your definition, a very successful dating life prior to meeting her. Due to her kids' ages and my age difference with her, prior to us getting serious, we did discuss the kids and parenting. To that end, I have been very committed to always being there for them and doing my best with anything they need. Despite this, over time the family I wanted has basically broken down to the point where myself and her children don't interact in any fashion. My casual suggestions of having a movie night or game night once a week where we all sit down and talk, has fallen on deaf ears. Instead, my fiancé insists that as long as I treat her good, not to bother or worry about how her children view me or our relationship, and to simply be nice and say hello, etc. when our paths do cross, which I have done to 10,000 blank stares and no replies whatsoever. I digress. When we first got together up until last year, I set a budget of $300 per kid for birthday and Christmas presents, and for 4 years bought the kids nice and thought-out gifts or just gave cash. Last December my business was slow, and while I did keep to my budget for them, it was especially hard with the household bills and the gifts for parents and siblings. Nonetheless, I sacrificed and went without because that's what dads do. Right? Imagine my surprise when collectively the gift I received from the kids in return was a stick of deodorant with a fancy sticky note with writing saying, "This is deodorant, it makes you smell good, use it often." My fiancé thought it was hilarious, if not in poor taste, and I laughed it off, not expecting anything in the first place. Fast forward, my birthday is in May. 1 child out of the 3 said happy birthday to me and none gave me a gift. Fast forward, her daughter's birthday, who just turned 19, was last week, June 6th. She was one of the 2 that neither wished me a happy birthday or gave me a gift, so I in kind did the same. Now my fiancé is mad at me and is calling me petty and childish. Before you judge me too harshly, we had a party for her in which I spent 2 days and stayed home from work to help with. I just literally didn't say one word to her daughter the entire day or give her anything. Finally, the conclusion. I err to you Reddit and your wisdom. Am I the asshole? Please tell me why or why not. For the record, Her son was the one who wished me a happy birthday and I am planning on giving him a gift in October. Story 5. AITA if I tell my dad to get a DNA test. My dad, 57, has been with his girlfriend for a while and they're expecting a baby boy in September. I'm happy for them and excited to have another little sibling, but I have some concerns. When my parents were together they tried for years to have another baby after my sister and I but couldn't. When my mom left my dad and got with her now husband, she had 4 kids. I don't think my dad can have any more children. He couldn't when he was younger and now he's well into his 50s. I don't want to just come out and say it because I very well could be wrong. I would still love the baby regardless and I know he would too. It's just been on my mind because me and my sister were talking about it. She thinks we should bring it up to him but I don't know. Story 6. AITA for being uncomfortable with my boyfriend's friend calling me, BH. For context, I am a 31F living with my boyfriend Mike who is 34. Mike has a friend Victor who comes over a lot. Yesterday, Victor came over to watch baseball with Mike. Victor asked me to pass him a beer so I passed one over but I dropped it. It didn't crack open or anything, but he said nice one, bitch. I was honestly shocked and said excuse me? He started laughing and Mike joined in. I was very uncomfortable and genuinely didn't know what to say. I told Victor that I didn't appreciate him calling me a bitch. He got super defensive and said he was saying it jokingly. I said it doesn't matter how you were trying to say it, I am uncomfortable. He got very huffy and said I was just being sensitive and then he said and you're probably going to accuse me of being a sexist now aren't you? Can't say anything these days. This was wild because A, I didn't say anything about sexism and B, what do you mean can't say anything? Can't call women bitches unsolicited anymore? What even was his point here? Mike hadn't said anything during this interaction until I called him out. I asked why he wasn't defending me and he said it babe you're being a bit dramatic. At this point I'd had enough so I told them to leave and they went to Victor's to watch the game. Up until this point I thought I was in the right until Mike texted me angrily. He said I'd embarrassed him in front of a friend by being so melodramatic and SJWY. He said Victor didn't mean any harm, and it was like how my friends call me bitch lovingly/jokingly. He also said it was uncalled for me to kick him and Victor out of the house when Mike literally lives there. I said it's completely different because my friends make sure I'm okay with it and don't say it in a derogatory manner like Victor did. Plus, my friends are wonderful women who have supported me for years, not some friend of my boyfriend's who I barely know. And I was supposed to just let myself be disrespected in my own home? He called me annoying again and then turned notifications off. He slept over last night, Victor lives alone, and hasn't come home yet. I think I might be the asshole because it's true that my friends call me bitch, and although it's different as I said above, it's possible that it confused Victor and made him think that was okay. I also didn't mean to make Victor uncomfortable/put him in the hot seat as a guest in my house. AITA? Edit, accidentally referred to Victor as Lucas, these are fake names and I changed my mind halfway through making the post lol. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.